Hey guys, Stanley7 here, and Apex Season 3 is out. Been playing quite a bit of Advanced Warfare and different old games, just because I haven't had much in a way of games to play until new COD comes out, and then here comes Apex with Season 3. Been trying it out quite a bit for the first day. I think I played quite a bit. I think I put I think I played it for like 6 hours or so, something like that. Probably could have played it longer if it had updated a bit quicker. I thought the update was going to come out around like noon, and it did not, so I guess I was just misinformed on that, so I wasn't able to play as much as I wanted to, but I still got a good amount of time in. And in this video, wanted to talk about I guess my super initial impressions, because there is quite a few changes, and it'd be hard to go through it all in a 9-minute video, but I'm gonna try to get through as much as I can, the more important stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is the map, and this is something that it's hard to give a first impression on for a map this big, because there's just so much to it, and it's gonna have to be a week, maybe a couple weeks, before I have a fully formed opinion on this map and how it compares to the previous map, Kings Canyon. So far, I will say that I like the way this map looks aesthetically. I definitely think it looks better, so that's just for sure. When it comes to how it actually plays, though, I think another thing I appreciate is that it seems that there's no reused assets from Kings Canyon on this map. I could be wrong. I probably haven't explored the entire map yet, so it's probably hard for me to actually know if that's true at this point. But it seems so far that yeah, there's a very small amount of reused assets from Kings Canyon. If there are reused assets, it's the obvious things, like the loot crates and stuff like that. Stuff that I wouldn't even consider reused assets. But what I'm saying is there's no the market location from Kings Canyon. There's nothing that's just a complete copy of market on this map, and I think that that's pretty good. I wasn't sure if that would be the case, and now that I've actually had time with the map, it seems that is the case, and I am very happy about that. It definitely makes the map feel fresh, so that's good. So that's basically, I don't know what else to say on the map. That's basically all I got to it. It's super early impressions, and it's hard to give a full opinion on it. So I want to talk about some other stuff. The biggest change for me, and it took forever for this to finally come around, but they had improvements to footstep audio in the patch notes, and I was just hoping that was legit this time, because I'm pretty sure I've seen that in the patch notes before, and it hasn't really done much. So when I saw it in there this time, I was very excited about that. Was really hoping that it was legit this time, because that, if anybody's watched my streams, that is my biggest issue with this game by far. It's just that inconsistent audio, especially on the footsteps. So I come in, and it turns out that actually, yeah, I haven't had any instances. Again, it was just a 6-hour session, which is that's a large amount of time. If I had a normal 6-hour sesh before Season 3 of Apex, I would probably experience some issues not hearing footstep audio during that time. So I think a 6-hour sesh is actually a pretty good, I hope, a pretty good amount of time to go by, to judge this by. And yeah, it seems like they actually have made some significant improvements to it, and I haven't had any issues not hearing somebody that's super close to me that I obviously should have heard footstep wise. I haven't had any issues like that yet, so I'm very happy about that. So another big thing that they did for this season is they took out disruptor rounds, the hop up disruptor rounds completely. So if you didn't play Season 2, or you don't remember, you need a refresher or whatever, disruptor rounds was a hop up that you could put on the alternator and the RE45, and it would make it so that you would do extra damage against shields. So it would double your damage on that weapon that you had it on against shields, and then as soon as the shields are down, you're down to health, it would go back to the normal damage. So I'm a bit torn on disruptor rounds being removed, and I'll explain why. I think I am fine with the actual action of disruptor rounds being removed. What bothers me is that they didn't give the alternator another buff to compensate for that. For example, the way that they had the alternator when they first buffed it in Season 2, I thought was a little ridiculous. Sorry for the long screen, by the way, here, but you can enjoy my damage dealt. But yeah, I thought the way they had it in the beginning of Season 2 was definitely a little too strong with disruptor rounds. But if they went back to that version of the alternator without disruptor rounds, I don't think it would be that OP. I mean, we'd have to try it, we'd have to see and see if it would actually end up playing out like that. But no, I really don't think it would be that overpowered if it was back to that state and just with no disruptor rounds. I think it would be fine. So I would like to see them try that. I would like to see them try to go back to that old, like, early Season 2 version of the alternator now that disruptor rounds are gone. And I think that it would actually be quite balanced. Because with the removal of disruptor rounds, the alternator, to me, and to a lot of players I imagine, is just back to being an attachment holder for either the carbine or the R99. So it's like, I don't know, there's no like use to it. Or that is the only use, is just an early game gun. If you have to pick it up, then you pick it up. It's not like something you would actually use. Whereas in Season 2 with the disruptor rounds, there was a lot of utility to having the alternator with disruptor rounds. Like, that was a very important part, to an extent, like, too important. Now the alternator is just there, which is kind of disappointing. Another thing that they did is they changed the perk for the gold backpack. So the gold backpack used to give you faster healing, and now they actually changed that to when you revive teammates with the gold backpack, they come up with more health and shields than they normally would. I actually like that. I think that's a pretty cool perk for a gold item, and I think it's interesting because whoever was Lifeline in our squad would always be like, oh, you shouldn't be the one carrying the gold backpack, you already have the heal buff. And now it's completely switched. Now the Lifeline character in the squads is probably going to be the person that should be carrying the gold backpack. So that's kind of a funny switch up there. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good perk. I like that. I like that they gave that perk to the gold backpack. Another thing, and they switched the old gold backpack perk. They gave it to the gold shield, which I also think was a good change, because I still think that fast heal is a very powerful ability, and the gold shield's original ability was just not that useful, and it needed something better. So I think the gold items are going to be a little better balanced now, and the gold shield is definitely going to be useful. Before, the gold shield was like, whatever, you might as well just have a purple shield. For example, if I had a gold shield and it got damaged in a fight, and I killed somebody with purple, I would just pick up the purple off their body, because it's the same thing, and I wouldn't use the ability on the gold shield. There's just no reason not to do it. So I like that change. And another thing too is the gold shield's old ability, which was that if you used a finisher on an enemy, you would get your shields back. I believe that is just a passive ability for everybody now, so that you don't need an item to get that. It's just like that. So you don't need anything on your character, whatever, any specific item. If you finish somebody, you'll get your shields back, which I think is really good actually, because now there's actually a reason to do finishers. Aside from the fact of just like being a dick, there's actually a legitimate gameplay reason to do a finisher now. So that's pretty cool. I actually like that change a lot. And I mean, those are the major ones that I wanted to talk about. I'll have more opinions as we get through a couple more days of this here. Just gonna enjoy the end of this gameplay. This was a pretty intense little 1v2 here. It's the last game of the night. Teammate was going off with the pings, so I hit him with the meme at the end. You'll see what I mean. But this guy just challenged me. I got the double tap shot there. I didn't mention that. They added the double tap hop up for the Scout and the EVA 8, which seems very strong. The Scout might be, I'm calling it early, the Scout might be the alternator of Season 2. This thing with the double tap seems insane. I haven't used it enough with the EVA 8, so I don't know how it affects that gun, but the Scout, man, the Scout seems nasty with it. The Scout seems really good with it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got some early impressions on Season 3 here. I'll get some more throughout the week. And the clean 3,000 damage dealt looks really nice. And see you next time.